The rise and shine of Glenn Maxwell in 2021. What has been the difference? That's what we're going to discuss on Hoggs Vlog. Well, Glenn Maxwell, over the years of IPL cricket, he's had very limited times where he's actually dominated. He's been overpaid if we look at the stats. 2014, he had a good year for the Punjab Kings 11. He was the highest scorer there and they finished on top of the ladder. But since then, he's done nothing apart from 2021, where he has really dominated and set the world alight, and RCB are in the top 4 and might even have a top 2 place going into the playoffs, giving them a second chance. But if we look over the years, before 2021, Glenn Maxwell, 60% of the scores were under 20. 40% of those scores were under 10. Not good enough for a top order batsman, and Glenn Maxwell would be disappointed to see those stats. But in 2021, only 20% of the scores have been under 20. He has improved the Australian and really set the world alight. He is the big show of RCB this year. Now, what has been the changes? Well, firstly, he's been given a specific role, batting in out number 4 and coming in out the back end of the power play and starting in that 7th over period where spin generally comes on. And he's a very good player of spin, and they wanted someone to attack the spinners there. Also, point 2, he bats between Kohli, Padikkal and Bharat. That's 1, 2, 3. And he's got De Villiers after him. So he sets up a better batting lineup for RCB this year. And knowing that De Villiers is behind him, he can play a little bit more conservative. Now, if we look over the years, the percentage of 4s to 6s has quietly dropped. So he hits more 4s in 2021, or a high percentage of 4s, compared to the other years. So he's playing more conservatively. Rather than trying to play the big shots and be the big show and hit the 6s, he's just looking for the ropes along the ground. And what that's doing is setting him up for the back end where he can be a little bit more aggressive in those final 10 overs. But again there, he's not trying to hit as many 6s as in previous years. His strike rate's not quite as good, but his average is a lot higher, and wickets to balls faced is a lot more. So he's done his job. And then you've got AB De Villiers, who can be more aggressive in that back end where he's really good, especially against the fast bowlers where he plays those ramps and those inventive shots. It really sets RCB up for big totals. The final point that I want to make is the coach, Simon Kadich. When he was on board in that Indian leg, he's not there over there with the UAE leg, he went out to Glenn Maxwell and he said, mate, are you ready for it? Because if we select you in the IPL, these are your boundaries. This is what is expected of you. He has been given clear direction, and virtually he's been given the ultimatum. This is your last chance in the IPL. If you don't perform this year, well, don't expect to get picked up in the auction in following years, because your standard hasn't been there. So one thing that we've learnt from the Glenn Maxwell experience in IPL cricket is that if you're given a specific role and clear boundaries of what's expected of you, generally you perform. So let's enjoy the last week of IPL cricket. Then the playoffs, I think RCB are going to be a surprise victor in this year's IPL. See you soon, stay safe and enjoy your cricket. Hoggy out.